Welcome, everybody, to the latest USL Championship in 10 following Week 3 of the 2019 season. My name's Jason Longshore. Let's get into the top 10 things you need to know about the USL Championship this week. Number 1, the big match of the weekend was in St. Louis. St. Louis FC hosted the Tampa Bay Rowdies, top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, and nothing was really decided at the end of 90 minutes. Finished in a draw 1-1 at Toyota Stadium. The Rowdies probably feel a little bit better than St. Louis, earning that point on the road. It was about as even of a match as you could possibly have, though. 11 shots for both teams, 3 shots on target for both teams. St. Louis edged the possession at 51%. The craziest thing that I've seen so far this season is that edge in possession, St. Louis had one more pass in the match than Tampa Bay. Only one more pass than the Rowdies. Crazy. Very even match between St. Louis and Tampa Bay. The Rowdies are on top of the Eastern Conference on goal differential currently. They're hosting Loudoun United on Saturday night. St. Louis, they're hosting the Charlotte Independents at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Number 2, it was a little bit of a surprise for me. The experts at USLChampionship.com, they kept St. Louis at the top of the league's power rankings. Personally, I think Tampa Bay's result on the road in St. Louis should have earned them that top spot. They're actually 4th in the power rankings. North Carolina is the next Eastern Conference team in 3rd. They had the week off, but they took advantage of it to host Liga MX's side Necaxa in a friendly, and they won that 2-1. Pretty big statement for North Carolina. Tampa Bay in 4th. St. Louis, even after the home draw, stays in the top spot according to the power rankings over at USLChampionship.com. The number 2 team in the power rankings is our number 3 item on the USL Championship in 10, the Sacramento Republic. They're the highest-ranked team in the Western Conference. They earned that spot after demolishing the previously unbeaten OKC Energy 4-1 on Sunday in front of a raucous home crowd. It's a huge win for the Republic as they try to stake their claim to being the top team out in the Western Conference. Number 4 on our top 10 is Cameron Iwasa. He was the star of the show for Sacramento in that win. Also earned him the USL Championship Player of the Week honors. Anytime you score a hat trick in 11 minutes, you're going to be the Player of the Week. There's really no question about it. 11-minute hat trick in the first half. That buried OKC Energy before they even knew what hit them. Iwasa is now the all-time leading scorer in Sacramento history. He's sitting on top of the team's record book with 34 goals in a Sacramento Republic kit. In the standings, Sacramento has competition at the top of the Western Conference, and this is our number 5 item on the top 10. The Portland Timbers 2 and the Tulsa Roughnecks are both on 7 points, along with Sacramento on 7 points. Sacramento and Portland, both 2-0-1 so far in 2019. The Roughnecks have played one more match, but they're on 7 points, and they got there after a big 4-0 win at home over the Tacoma Defiance. Portland, they got to 7 points after a 3-1 win at home against the Las Vegas Lights on Saturday night. The highlight there, if you haven't seen it, Dairon Asprilla and his bicycle kick, one of the best goals so far in 2019 in the USL Championship, had a big hand in Timbers 2 moving up to be level for the top spot in the Western Conference. Number 6 on the list is another hat trick, and a lot of weeks this player would have earned the Player of the Week honors. He does not after Matchweek 3. Romario Williams had a hat trick for Atlanta United 2 in a 3-3 draw against Charlotte. One of the craziest games so far in the season. Not quite 5-3 crazy like we saw earlier this season, but 3-3 in a pretty wild back-and-forth match. Atlanta looked like they were in complete control with 2 goals in the first half, both from Romario Williams. You're 2-0 at halftime. Things are flying for Atlanta United 2. Last 15 minutes, Charlotte scored 3 times. 2 substitutes were involved in the scoring. Kevon George and Jorge Herrera, the ageless wonder for the Independents, 38 years old, in his 200th USL appearance, gets what looks like the winning goal in the 93rd minute. But then Atlanta picks themselves up off the ground, goes down the other way, and had a couple of chances. It falls to Romario Williams inside the 6, and he buries it for his 3rd goal of the night, the 3rd goal for his team, and a goal that equalized and turned what looked like a sure win, then what looked like a loss, into a very strange feeling draw. That was the night at the Sportsplex at Matthews. Romario Williams, big night for him. He's in the USL Team of the Week with his hat-trick performance, but it wasn't enough to earn 3 points for Atlanta United 2. Number 7 on our list is stoppage time equalizers. Atlanta's was one of 4 on Saturday night where teams came back to rescue points in stoppage time. Pittsburgh had a late penalty. Anthony Velarde converted it. That earned them a draw against Swope Park Rangers. El Paso Locomotive, they had their first win in club history, all set it appeared, but Rio Grande Valley's Jesus Enriquez completed the comeback. They were 2-0 down. Enriquez's goal in stoppage time made it 2-2, earned Rio Grande Valley a point in El Paso. And then Leonardo, the late signing for Orange County, veteran center back, his stoppage time goal completed their come-from-behind performance against New Mexico United, who was looking for another win on the season. 4 stoppage time equalizers on Saturday night. There can't be many nights in USL Championship history that have that many stoppage time equalizers in them. Just mentioned New Mexico United. They earned their first win in club history and the first win for the expansion class of 2019 on Wednesday night last week over the Tulsa Roughnecks. If you haven't seen New Mexico United, they're becoming that must-watch team this season. All kinds of excitement in every match. They're scoring a lot of goals. I've mentioned Santi Moar a couple of times. He's one of the most exciting players in the league. This is a fun team. They haven't lost yet either. They're 1-0-3. They're not converting some of these close games into wins, but they're very competitive. They're a ton of fun. And if you're looking for one of those random teams that you want to adopt in 2019, if you don't really have a dog in the fight, or you're on the East Coast and you're looking for that late night game to watch, New Mexico United is at the top of that list for me. It was the Las Vegas Lights last year with Chalice After Dark. Now it is New Mexico for me. Got to watch the New Mexico United squad. They're a fun one to keep an eye on. Number 9 on the list is the leader in the Golden Boot race. A most unexpected leader in the Golden Boot race. Tulsa defender Luca Lobo has 5 goals so far. Not many defenders are in this type of category. I believe Lobo is actually 3 off of the all-time record for USL defenders scoring goals in a season. 8 is that mark. Lobo's on 5. Maybe he needs to play a different position. I don't know. Tulsa's been dangerous on set pieces. That's helped Lobo a lot, and they're scoring a bunch of goals. Lobo leading the Golden Boot race with 5 so far at this point in the season. Number 10, as we wrap up the USL Championship in 10, Zako Lewis represented the league in a big way on the international scene. He scored the first goal for Bermuda in a come-from-behind victory over the Dominican Republic. That gives Bermuda's Gombe Warriors their first ever Gold Cup appearance. Lots of USL Championship players represented for their national teams, but none more than Zako Lewis getting Bermuda to their first Gold Cup ever. Big week coming up in the USL Championship. Games start Friday night. Going to be some big ones to keep an eye on. St. Louis hosting Charlotte Saturday afternoon is one. Louisville City hosting Birmingham Legion. North Carolina FC back in league play hosting the Charleston Battery in a rivalry match. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are undefeated thus far, hosting Loudoun United. And out west, you get a battle of the twos with the LA Galaxy 2 hosting Portland Timbers 2, alongside the Las Vegas Lights hosting the Real Monarchs. Lots of games to keep an eye on. You can watch all of those on ESPN+, and we'll be back next week to break it all down for you on the USL Championship in 10.